Hey, it's Arlesha. I'm a purpose-driven mover and shaker who embarked on a sabbatical for the first time in my career. Welcome to my first podcast. This season, I'm talking about what it means to be on sabbatical, to recharge your life, career, and purpose. Throughout each episode, I'll share gems and insights experienced from my first sabbatical journey in the hopes it'll inspire you to harmonize your life and ambitions. Let's get into it. I've said this numerous times in various episodes within this podcast. Adulting doesn't stop because you're on sabbatical. Here's the thing about sabbaticals. They tend to be romanticized. One would think that it's all rainbows and butterflies. And funny enough, those have been two things that have greeted me beautifully during sabbatical. So this is real. Sometimes it is rainbows and butterflies. And the recaps of my sabbatical trips do give off that vibe. But that's not every day. There are some days in which I rely heavily on grace, especially when adulting rears that head. It would surprise you to hear that even during this special period, I endured some hard moments and experiences in the form of a death of a family member I was hoping to reconnect with, and even a best friend breakup. And when adulting happens, you've got to give yourself grace, and you've got to pace your grace. Pace your grace. Because with the time off, there's time to soak. You can sit with what you need to sit with, learn the lesson, or deal with the emotions, come to a resolution, center yourself, and then get right back to your intentions list. We talked about the intentions list in episode 4. This keeps your time of sabbatical productive and purposeful. But let's get back to pacing grace. Sabbaticals create an open door where you have the capacity to sit with the things you may need to deal with in life. While it might not always feel good, it's productive to go through it. Capacity is the key word. With an extended work break, you now have the space. And with the notion of space, I like to imagine a long hallway. Imagine standing in that long hallway that then gives you the space to pace. You can schedule out any grieving that needs to be done. No, truly, you can schedule that out. During my time off, my therapist was a great resource when I dealt with my best friend breakup. And a few months after that, the death of a family member reminded me to take the time to reconnect with those while I had this open space and time off on sabbatical. This all occurred during sabbatical. Again, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. As I mentioned my therapist, it would be good for me to mention that this podcast is not centered on therapy. There's a bunch of podcasts you can turn to hear from actual licensed therapists on a multitude of topics and subjects. I, for one, am not a licensed and practicing therapist. I encourage you to consider the experts who are certified to speak on such matters, but I'll say this. As someone who has been in therapy since 2018 and have reaped the benefits for both my personal life and professional life working in sports and entertainment, therapy is just as beneficial to continue doing during a time of sabbatical. It's the perfect time to work through what you need to work through, as well as to plan through feelings and conflicts as you plan for your life on the other side of sabbatical. Pacing your grace looks like giving yourself the permission to get in your feelings, but to not stay there. Be intentional. That's a constant theme that comes up for me during sabbatical. Just like in life, it's not productive to stay in your feelings. You've got to be solution-oriented so that you can get to the root of why you feel what you feel and what you'll do about it. This is the same approach as you pace your grace. I could have gotten stuck in some feelings and situations I was forced to encounter, but I couldn't. If you join me on previous episodes, I have things to experience and intentions to meet. I have made that very clear during my sabbatical. I have things to experience and intentions to meet. So there's no way I could have stayed in my feelings. I paced my grace so that I could record any emotions and made notes on how I can be better and do better. Pacing your grace. It's a way of living. Make it a practice. Until next time, I am sincerely yours, Arlesha.